Good evening, everyone. My name is Rick Bloom, and I am here today I'm very excited, by the way, to be here with head basketball coach of the Lady Arcs, Demarris Winters. We're coming fresh off a historic season where the team reached, I believe, the school's first ever Final Four, and Coach Winters himself was named the Division III Basketball Coach of the Year. But we're upon a new season now with big expectations. And we intend to talk a little bit and give you some insight on some of the key players, what the team's mindset is going to be coming into the season, and what Brush will need to do to build on their success of last year. So, Coach, thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Appreciate it. And let's just jump right in.
All right.
So we talked a little bit about mindset. How would you describe the mindset of this team as it approaches this season? Because it wasn't just any season last year.
Very focused from top to bottom, coaching staff, all the way down to players, even JV. It's funny because our JV players are over there running and they getting up and down and working on pressure and presses and all that good stuff. So, but as far as the varsity team, we're very focused. Again, like I said, from top to bottom. From Tatiana Mason to Nyla Mason, Jakalyn Brown, Julia Ferraria, Addison Harris, and Samaya Lyles. Those are kind of like our top six that get the most minutes. And then got some bigger girls coming off the bench with Rakia Matthews, Isis Cook, Jayana Shaw, and Kyra Fantasy, and Taya Pimpton. So from top to bottom, we're focused. They were focused all summer. Of course, we go in the summertime and we play a lot of college shootouts. We played at 8 of them this past year. We usually played 8, 9 of them every year. And we look good. We're focused. Again, we had it left with a bad taste in our mouth last year. We were right there. Although we were happy with the season, we wanted more. And so did our district, and we want more again this year.
Well, last year, as we said, was very special. 24-3 was something wasn't beyond our expectations. We knew we could do that, but it was still a thrill to get to that level of basketball. I think we ran off 22 in a row at one point,
Yeah.
Not every team does that year after year. So
right.
But this is a new year. So what are your expectations for this group? How do you balance celebrating what went on last year with what you have to get done this year?
Mm-hmm. So last year we were content. We were happy with what happened. Nobody was upset. Of course, if you had the most wins in history or make it that far, but we weren't satisfied. We wanted more. We wanted one more game. We wanted 2 more wins. So, and we lost by 3-4 points. We were right there to set up the epic battle with Cincinnati Purcell, but it didn't happen. So. Again, we're focused on coming in and doing things the right way. I looked at some film in the games we did lose, the 3 games that we did lose. I seen some things that I could do better as a coach, and trying to put the girls in better positions to win mentally, physically, emotionally, all those good things. So we're concentrating on that. Us as a coaching staff, we had a couple meetings to see what we can do differently as far as development is concerned, even from the lower level, we have about 2 or 3 JV kids coming up with us right now. Also, it's kind of rocky right now because we got a couple of injuries to our point guards that we're trying to figure out where that's going to go. But as far as being a coach, I'll figure that out, and then we'll switch some things over, and some people will play in some different positions than you've seen them play before, and then we'll kind of go from there. But our goal is to ultimately win a state championship, and I think that's from me. Me and Tati talk about it all the time. She's just living, breathing. Just that's what she wants to do, and that's what I want to do. And when you're in tune like that with your best player, and you got the same goal in mind, which we do mostly all the time, that's very special. That's very special. Same thing with Nyla Mason. She's ready to. That's kind of all they talk about, So that trickles down to the team, and that's our goal. And not just for me. I could care less about myself as far as winning. But it's for the girls. I know how many scholarships we can get. I know what kind of opportunity that gives them. And I know what it'll do for our district. We're a great district, and this can shine a spotlight on what we're doing here as a district, not only in basketball, but educational, academics, the great staff, our great leadership as far as the superintendent, Superintendent Capel, Assistant Superintendent, MT, Melissa Thompson, Principal Harris, down to the AD, the APs, Jamar, you, all that good stuff. So it'll do a lot for us, and that's what we want to do. We're close to doing it, and I think we can do it. We can make it happen.
Let me shift gears for just a bit here. For you and the Brush Arcs, the Lady Arcs this year, what does success look like off the court?
That there's just great young ladies, right? And if you listen to any of my interviews, and you probably heard this from me before in the last couple of years, I always preached good person first, academics, and then basketball. And the reason I say it's a good person is because we all work with someone, work beside someone who's very, very smart, but they may not have been the greatest person in the world. You know what I mean? You can't stand them. I like you. I'm just putting up with you. You know what I mean? And I don't want any of our girls just to be the person that other people put up with, right? People remember the nice things that you do. People remember the nice gestures. They remember what you did for them. They also remember what you didn't do and the mean things or the mean the attitudes towards them. People remember that type of stuff, and it sticks with them. When you see my girls, again, with Taylor Johnson Matthews, Asia Nicholson comes in, all those girls that we see on TV right now that play big time minutes and did big time things for us, they're nice girls. They're great people, right? They come in, they laugh and joke with the girls, they give back to the girls, they eat with them, they play with them, they challenge them in a positive manner. And that's what I want to send out into this world outside of basketball.
You are a coach who is known for preaching toughness, teamwork, discipline, all important foundational keys to a basketball team. How do you get that across to the team each year as something you want to be consistent year after year after year?
So I think that a team forms the identity from me, from their leader, their coach, right? So I want to be disciplined. I want to be tough. I want to be stern in certain instances. I also want to be giving and nurturing as far as a coach is concerned, right? So I try to display the things that I want done, right? I want them to be on time. I want them to work hard. We talk about praying all the time. We pray right before every single game. As I pray in the morning right before I start my game, which is my day. Coming here in the district and doing different things. So that's what I want them to do. I want them to pattern that. I hope that when they see me, they will see, man, he does work hard. He really cares about us. He cares about doing the right thing. He cares about giving back. He cares about the community, not just here, but community outside of, definitely here in South Dubuque, Lyndhurst, but even outside of here. I know kids outside of here. I know Richmond kids who play with my son. Who I know other kids around the area that play AAU for me, young men that play with when I have my younger son playing all the way up through the ranks as far as AAU, and they're at different schools, and I kind of go to their games and all that good stuff. So I hope I can, as far as my team is concerned, I hope that I'm setting a pattern where you at least try to do the right thing. We all fall short, but at least try to do the right things and attempt to do the right things every single time, on and off the court.
It seems appropriate to ask this because we are an academic institution and not just an athletic one. So what are some of the lessons you want the girls to take into this season from last year? Good lessons, bad lessons, anything that sticks with you that you want to sort of teach them?
Yeah. So one thing I did say after the game when we lost is that, take it in. Because when we celebrate, we won a lot of games. We won so many games in the last 2 or 3 years. And even before, like I said, it's like our third turnover as far as this type of team is concerned, maybe third or fourth. We had these windows before, right? And my thing was, be careful when you celebrate, when you do win, and how you celebrate, because that other side in that locker room over there, they're feeling bad. You know what I mean? And I don't think that you should, you don't want to overplay being. You just definitely want to be humble. It's definitely a competitive type situation. You don't want to overdo it, but you do want to have some empathy towards the fan base of the opposite teams, the players of the opposite team, that coaching
some
staff.
Class, dignity.
Absolutely. Because what we felt that last game is how people feel like 25 times a year when we come to town. You know what I mean? So do it with dignity, win with dignity. Take other people's feelings into consideration when we do win, because they feel like we felt when we lost that day, and we felt really, really bad. We hadn't lost in like 4 or 5 months, I think. And then we lose a semifinal game. So that's one thing. And And the other thing that I think they should take is just hard work, man. Just hard work. It's just if you work hard, most times it's gonna work out. We're in here in the summertime going. I mean, we are going, man. We stay in here. We go 4 or 5 to 2, 3 hours, 2 to 4 or 5 hours. I mean, 2 hours is a short day for us. After we get done doing our 6 to 8 thing, we're in here shooting Tati, Nani, Samaya, Addison, Shanaira when she was, when she was healthy, and they're shooting for about another hour and a half. The bigs are doing micins for another 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, we're going. We're working on defense. Like today, we're going to come in and work on defense for 2 hours. We won't probably touch a ball today. The pressure defense and our zones and where we need to be and all that good stuff. So I hope from your question, something that I would like them to understand is how to approach hard work.
Sure.
So.
So you have lightly touched on this so far. It's the big elephant in the room. We've lost our tremendous point guard, Shanaira McDowell-Isaacs, for this season, and we're having a little trouble with Samaya Lyles as well. So that's obviously on your mind coming in. We have a lot of talent outside that, but tell me a little bit about the players who are returning and what maybe are they bringing to the team this year that was worked on over the summer, that even bodes better for us coming into the upcoming season.
Yeah. As you said, we're down to our third point guard, right? So replacing Shanaira McDowell-Isaacs is huge. Like I don't even think that can happen. I don't know. To me, she's the best point guard in the state, probably in the Midwest, right? When she's doing her thing. But and not only on the offensive side, not only the way she picks it up as far as what I would like to have on the court running the show as a point guard, but the skill set, the quickness, the change of pace, and most importantly, her defense. Like you can just sit her on somebody and forget about them for the day. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get around her on a consistent basis, if 1 or 2 times that night, right? So that's a lot to lose. But as you said, we do have other talented kids. As you said, Samaya Lyles. We're trying to figure what's going on what's going on with her right this second. Hopefully she'll be okay and we'll be back. She's a senior leadership, and she's one of those kids that I always tell people she would have been starting anywhere else, and she really is a starter for us because she plays starter minutes and she's the 6th man for the last 2 years. So, along with Moose Shields. So they were coming off the bench at the same time. So, which she's going now, Moo's going now. But we're down to the third point guard, which is really not a third point guard because Addison Harris can play. She averaged 19 points a game last year on JV. A little smaller guard, but very quick, very shifty, can shoot the ball.
Looked pretty good in the preview that we had last Saturday.
Yeah. So she's been developing. She's a kid that I've had here with me. Even I used to invite her up when she was in 6th and 7th grade to come to the gym with us to practice and all that good stuff. And she's been playing alongside of Nyla Mason for the last 3 years. So she knows what I expect. She is more than capable of doing, as we seen the other day, she's more than capable of doing that. We're going to kind of copy and paste some things and make some adjustments to fit her in that point guard position. And we won't put that much pressure on her because Nyla Mason can play point guard as well. So the plan is to kind of let Addison start there. Our starters will be Addison at the point, Nani at the 2, Tati at the 3, Ju at the 4, Jakalyn at the 5, which is a very, very formidable lineup, right? But probably halfway through, we'll slide Nani over, bring another big in beside Jakalyn, move Ju up to the 3, and then we have Ju and Tati on the wings with Nani running the point guard position for a minute there, and then we'll kind of rotate from there with bigs and figure out what we're going to do. So that's that. But everybody has improved, right? Our bigs on the bench, those bigs that we spoke about, I just seen them the other day. They're not missing at all. They're they used to kind of miss layups every now and then. They're understanding how to power it up over people and make layups, and that's a very important part of this team. This team will look different if those 4 or 5 big girls off the bench can do that, right? I can rotate them in. They can set screens. They can rebound. If they can make layups, get people open, get us second chance opportunities, get defensive rebounds, and kick it back out to those guards that we know because they know we want to get up and down, and then kind of rotate them in. So we know our guard play is going to be Addison, Nani, Tati, Ju, and Samaya. So we got 5 really, really good guards. And then those other 5, of course, Jakalyn is our best big. She's a Division I type big. But we got 4 other girls who they're not as big as her, but they're close. They can move some things around. They can grab some rebounds. So we'll be substituting more down there than we were before, because those kids have developed now and they're ready to play and take that role and get some minutes.
A couple of thoughts come to me if we go back just for a second to Shanira. What troubled me about that was not only is she the quarterback of the team, which, you take away anybody's point guard, that's going to be some trouble, but she's also an experienced one. She's got 2 years under her belt. So, boy, we were looking forward to her coming, for year 3. So all we can do, like you said, is pray that everything heals up quickly and she can come back for year 4.
Exactly. She'll definitely be back for year 4. That's for sure. If not the end, and I don't want to say this, but if not the very, very end of March or that the tournament run. So we'll be keeping our fingers crossed. We'll see. She's with some good people. She was some good people as far as therapy is concerned. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And also touching back to the point you made about how everyone worked on things over the summer. I think you played something like, 30 or 40 games over the summer?
Absolutely.
So this isn't like go lay on a chair somewhere and get your suntan, right? No, that's not what this team's about.
No.
But I even saw on Saturday, Jakalyn Brown was doing something, and I'm not the coach, you are, but she was grabbing rebounds, and instead of turning and flipping it back out to the top of the circle, she went right back up and put it up a couple of times. So I was like, hey, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the man. You pay attention a lot. And not only that, you've seen Tatiana feed her like 3 or 4 times, and she had to post move and turn. Jakalyn was getting her buckets the last 3 years off rebounding, and because we have so many scorers. Even go back 2 years ago, you got Brooklyn, Reed, Tati, but Nani wasn't here yet. Tati and Shanira, you got those, they're carrying their load. She was just grabbing rebounds, putting it back up, running the floor, getting it. Now we can go down to her, right? We could back then, but we didn't really have to. We were just scoring so much, and she was just getting rebounds and putting it back up and still averaging the double-double. But right now, you seen Nani and Tati in that game against Richmond in that preview game, throw it down to her, and she used her post moves and score. That's huge. That's going to be huge for us because that's 14, 15 points right there. And she's going to put down about 11 or 12 rebounds this year. So, if she can score between 13 and 15 and she can get 10, 11 boards, that's huge for us. That's big for us, especially when you got Tati who can rebound as well, Ju who can rebound as well, Nani who rebounds well from a guard position out top. That's pretty good. So we can go, that's just another tool in our toolbox that we can use to fix things, so to speak. You know what I mean?
And there's a trickle-down effect, too, it seems to me, because if Jakalyn becomes more and more of a threat underneath, that's going to open things up on the perimeter for the other ladies who, maybe sometimes get collapsed on.
Absolutely.
But now the defense is not going to be able to do that.
Yep. So you got to play, and those 4 kids can shoot. The Masons, both Mason sisters, Ju and Addison, can really. They work on it every day after practice. Because we know we're going to get zones. We know people are going to sag in on Tati and not let her try not to let her and Nani get in the lane and start doing their thing. So we got to shoot the ball. We shot the ball pretty well the last couple of years, but we really have put an emphasis on shooting that ball every single day after practice for at least an hour and 15 minutes because we know that that's going to happen.
Yeah. What about underclassmen? Since, your job is always not to enjoy who's with you right now, but you always got to be looking back to say, who's coming through the pipeline, So any underclassmen that you expect might make a contribution this year?
So we got, it's a couple. Of course, Addison is an underclassman. She's a sophomore. So she's just been here so long. It seems like she's a junior or a senior, but Addie is a sophomore, so she's an underclassman. Of course, Nani's an underclassman, but she's not going to play like an underclassman. She's definitely, but I have 5 actually, sophomores who will start on JV. They'll split, but they're going to start all sophomores. The starters for JV are all sophomores. So you got Tristan Allen who will play down there. You got Alexis Jackson who's electric. She's very fast, very good. She didn't play last year. But she'll be here this year. She's a sophomore as well. She can move around. That's the person who came in and spoke with you. Her grandmother came in and will send me the email. She's very fast. She can really play. We got Victoria Porter, she went to Olmsted last year. So she's a transfer over. She's on JV. Those 3 are sophomores. And then you got Nyla Ford, who kind of left our district and came back. She wasn't here last year. She's a lone kid. So they're going to split. So they're going to start JV and they'll split JV and varsity. So they'll sit on our bench on varsity. They'll practice with us, but they'll start that JV game. So I'm very excited about those 4 or 5 players. Did I miss one? Those are the 4 sophomores that'll be starting. They're going to start, and then Skylar Bradford is a kid that's a freshman. So she's going to be pretty good as well. So we got some good stuff coming up. Skylar will play probably all JV, but the other 4 sophomores will kind of get on and just see if they can get some minutes. I mean, if they develop and they do what they're supposed to do, then they could definitely try to crack the lineup. Well,
here's another thing that you are known for, because let's face it, with the success you've had, we all get to learn a little bit more about you. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was your unbelievably competitive schedule. I took a look at that thing and I had to stop several times and say, and there's still more, so how do you get the kids up? Because it would seem to me, and I've never been a coach, but it would seem to me that it's hard to constantly keep getting the kids up to play the big opponents. And you've got a slew of opponents out there who are not only known in the state, but even some out of state.
Absolutely. They want to play, man. I'm very competitive in life in general, right? So I want to play the best. If I'm in business, I want to go against the best. I want to, all these good things, right? I teach my kids, I'm at Demarris Winters Jr., Richmond Heights, they want to play the best. 3 state championships in a row. Deja wants to play the best. WNBA type situation with her. I want to play the best. I don't even what we call in high school, as far as the coaches are concerned, they say, hey, we have a down year. We might not have that much talent or whatever it may be, or you got an up year, you got a lot of talent, whatever it is. Even when we're so-called down, we're not down. I want to play the best. I want to play who's supposed to be the team. Let's play. And that's where I think some high school coaches missed the mark at. I'm calling around, Jamar and I are calling around, we're trying to get games and people not playing us. Well, what better to get your team better than to play the best teams?
Very true.
You might not win, or you might win, right? I don't know. But for me, what better way, when we were so-called down, which I don't think we were down, we still won 13, 14 games when we were so-called down, we played everybody still, right? We were still invited to these things and we still went to these events and we play, and we got beat sometimes, but we learn from those losses, and you can see what we have now. So my team wants to play the top, our who we would call our top players. They want to play other top people. So I'm competitive, they're competitive, so it's only right to have a competitive schedule. Yeah.
With the sensational success of these last few years, and even before then, but definitely in the last couple of years, do you think that the Brush Arcs have a target on their back now amongst the other opponents as you go to play this schedule?
Yeah, absolutely right. So we I won't mention teams, but we do talk about it in the locker room. It's a little bit of chatter of certain teams trying to catch us, right? So this team is trying to catch us, that team is trying to catch us, and they should be. Yeah, that's good stuff. So I think that comes with it. That's a target, right? Few years ago, we were trying to put it together, and we were trying to get to the place where we could win a district, and then and beyond. We've got there in the last 2 or 3 years. Like I said, we've been flirting with this for a long time here, as far as getting the districts and winning and trying to go beyond. But yeah, that's definitely a target for us, as far as being the team from this area that has represented in the regionals and in the states last year and all that good stuff, and then us having the players that we have. That have been player of the year in News Herald, player of the year in the division, and all that good stuff, and coach, all those accolades come with a target, and we welcome it. It's all good. So if you can catch us, come catch us. Come. Let's do it.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
What has, if you don't mind, this group has been together just a little while now. The core of it. What is this group for you? Coaching them. What has it taught you about leadership? About teamwork, about yourself? Have you learned some things yourself? I mean, obviously you're always trying to teach them, but have you learned some things?
Yes, I certainly have. That's a great question. I have. I've learned that you got to make adjustments, not just in game, but outside in the locker room, the approach to the season, right? So sometimes, and you have different young ladies coming in. And so you may not be able to coach the same way that you coached last year. Like I just said, you never seen me with a platoon of bigs just coming in and out. I've never done that. Now I'm doing it because I see that this kid is improving, this big is improving, this big is improving. So with that being said, I have to make adjustments to the way that I do things. So you're going to see about 4 or 5 bigs coming in and out, coming in and out, coming in and out. I've never done that as far as the bigs are concerned. It was Jakalyn and maybe one more, and then Tati will slide down or whatever it may be. Same thing with Nani moving over to the point guard position. She's one of our best shooters. And now she'll play on the ball with the ball in her hands, which is a good thing for her in college and all that good stuff. So I had to make that adjustment because 2 point guards are down. So what it taught me was making adjustments in life, not just, just on the court, but in life. Even our tragic situation that we've had in the last couple of days, I have to talk to the girls and we have to adjust our schedule because we need to have that conversation about what happened, right? So I got to make adjustments in life. I got to make adjustments on the court. Got to make adjustments in the classroom, right? Some people need to up their GPA in order to get to the Division I level where we know that they can be. So if they've taught me anything, it's me having to make adjustments in all aspects of my life, off the court, on the court, in the classroom for them. So that's something that I've really learned in the last couple of years.
Looking back on last year, what a special spring it was. We have some long winters around here, obviously in Northeast Ohio, but as the winter played out, and you guys kept winning. There was a lot of fun, a lot of spirit. Brush was, really getting behind the team, making the trips down to Canton. What does it mean to you to represent not only Brush, but the South Euclid-Lyndhurst community? Maybe even to some degree, you got people rooting for you in Northeast Ohio who have been knocked out of the playoffs, and they want somebody close by to do really well. How did is that built up last year? How did that affect you?
Feels good, man. Feels good, first of all, for the girls, for that confidence, right? So it feels good there. Of course, for me, it feels good to be from Brush, to be a player that played here at Brush, and to kind of be a part of bringing some championship type feel to our community. And I'd like to thank everyone, even the coaches that we went against. Coaches, I got some good friends as coaches, as like you said in the panel and everything. When we were making that run, they're keep going. They're texting me, good luck, keep going, represent for Cleveland, represent for our area, all these good things. Other players, texting our players and all that good stuff. So it means the world, man. We always want to be appreciated for something that you do. Whether it's, I don't care if it's you could be the janitor or the principal or the YDS, whatever it may be, or the player, or the coach. Not that I would, I don't live off of it, but yeah, it feels good to be appreciated.
Purpose and meaning, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
by your community,
yeah.
And I do the same for others, right? I'm a fan of a lot of coaches around the area. They're different divisions than we are, and I send them texts as well and say, hey, thank you. Not thank you, but congratulations. You know what I'm saying? So go get them, keep going. Even some players, right? So it feels good to answer your question. It feels good, and we have tremendous support from the greater Cleveland area, surrounding areas, and all that good stuff. So it's a good thing, and I think that these kids are the kids. They're not arrogant. They're very confident. They're very confident, but they're very humble as well. And they're we got about 14, 15 of these girls on varsity that are very, very humble young ladies and very good young ladies, and they deserve everything that they get.
So as we talked about, we're right upon a brand new season, and the hopes are high. What would be your message to Arc Nation as we embark on this brand new season? What message would you have for the supporting cast out there?
Well, first of all, thank you, right? It was a tremendous run the last 2 years. We talk about last year, but that year we went against Mags. Everybody was there. The football team, the stands were packed. I could see, and Danny's my guy. I see Danny Gallagher over at Magnificon. When he's seen all them people walking there, and he's seen our kids, seen his big six, he's like, oh my God, seen his eyes. They end up winning the game, though, because he's a great coach now. It's a great team. But just because we showed up, that means something to the girls, and that means something to the opponents as well, right? So I would say thank you to everybody in our area. I really appreciate it. Our girls really appreciate it. Let's continue to do the same thing this year. And our motto for this year is no more almost, because we did it twice. We almost did it 2 years ago. We almost did it last year. So we want no more almost. We want to do it this year for everyone involved.
Makes perfect sense. Coach, I want to thank you so much for spending some time.
Yep.
And out there in Arc Nation, come on out and see this team. They are beyond exciting. They play the game right. They play it well. And this man is the ringleader of it all. So come on out this year. and see your Lady Arcs in action.